Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Sagittarians, here we go. Let's take a little peek at this, Saggies. This is in honor of the upcoming Lion Gate portal, which is that A8 portal tomorrow. True, the energy is kind of already vibing that direction, right? From the 26th of last month all the way up to like the 10th or 12th of August. But we have like a nice alignment of Sirius the dog star, Orion's belt, the earth and the sun. So I look at this as like a wonderful, like energetic, cosmic, like laser beam or something, like a little energetic doorway that is opening up from the cosmos to earth. So what might that doorway be bringing in? It actually says somebody's going to be walking away from a past that was wholly, unsatisfying. That Five of Pentacles says all the things that I've done. Oh gosh. There's two songs coming in my head. One is LP, All the Things I've Lost on You. But I don't know that I think that's right, because it doesn't feel really sad. It feels empowered. It feels like somebody's walking away from, wasted time or something. And it's more like a heroic, and I'm looking forward to the future kind of energy, especially with this Three of Wands. I think somebody stayed in a scenario, whether it was a job or a relationship, long enough to say, you know what, this really isn't giving back to me. There's really nothing more here for me. I'm ready to move forward. I know there's better ahead. This could all be about somebody who's like really excited that they have put in their resume and they just gotten hired at another job and they're excited to have a new boss. And it's like, man, I'm so glad I went ahead and did this. This just feels like a huge amount of like positive surge of change. Like if this is our Sag is like starting to float down the river of prosperity now. And it's because they decided to make a change. If something's not working, if we're not getting what we need, not getting what we want, I think this is a Sag who's empowered enough to say, hey, if I'm not contented with what I'm getting, then let me go ahead and choose a different path for myself. I can do something else. I can do something different for sure. It's just really nice to see, walking down this different road, this different pathway, and then looking toward the future. And the future looks amazing with that Sagittarian, looking toward an emperor. Now, if this is about love, this could just be Sag is setting their sights on, you know what, I want my future to hold an emperor in it. Like that's what I'm manifesting. That's what I'm aiming for. I definitely think this is all about Saggie's future. And I kind of think that maybe their little guide has been trying to tell them for a while, like, come on, Sag, come on. There's brighter up ahead for us. There's brighter up ahead. We have the Hierophant, we have a Four of Cups, and we have the Death card. Well, let me say this. Sag shifting gears, or having shifted gears around this timeline, it is definitely letting another individual, whomever Sag is walking away from, or whatever they're walking away from, Sag will be sorely missed. This is because somebody who's in so much sorrow and disappointment. Like, why did I not make changes so I could have held on to Sag? Why didn't I try to alter things and listen to what Sag needed from me? This could have been a Scorpio, could have been a Taurus, possibly could have been any water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. But I don't know if this was somebody that Sag actually, had real serious intentions with, but this person just was not making the changes that were necessary to like contribute to the relationship. Like clearly some things needed to change. I don't know if this was about like Sag wanted to do something, wanted to, hey, let's build a business. Hey, let's, raise kids. Hey, let's, make this a more serious connection. Whatever it was, it feels like the one that Sag is walking away from are very bummed out because they're realizing that they missed their chance here. They missed their chance to be with Sag. They missed their chance to go along with Sag. They missed that. And they don't really know why they didn't make some changes. This is very hard for them. We've got the Five of Wands in the reverse, and it's very obvious to them. They don't have to wonder why Sag is gone. I do really think that we're just seeing their energy now that Sag just exited stage left. Sag, let's go back to where Sagittarius is headed, because their future is heading, or gravitating them toward that Emperor. And I feel like that's the better message in all this. Actually, let's go with something really bright, because I feel like this is really bright. Okay, so in the next 3 days to 3 months, Page of Wands in the reverse. This is no small change. This is not something Sag is mildly intrigued by. 9 of Cups in the reverse also says this is not something that Sag is like looking toward, like just being indulgent. This is not, I don't think this is anything little. I don't think this is anything small. We got an Ace of Wands, Judgment, and King of Cups in the reverse. Okay. All I can say is with all these reversals, Sag is really done with their past scenario. They're not taking the past back. They don't want somebody that is emotionally unavailable. They don't want, like, none of that turns them on. Sag has learned what does not turn them on. And I kind of think that that alone is maybe, sorry guys, I'm still coughing. That alone is a really great message here. Death card. Everything feels different for Sag. They want something different. We've got, it is sideways. So it's like, and remember, that's what cost this other individual the relationship with Sag originally, is they wouldn't make any changes. I do think somebody was set in their ways. And what Sag is saying is, I'm going to move forward and I'm going to have something that is different than everything I have known. If once upon a time I had someone that, they didn't ever work things out with me, it was always their way or the highway. That was unattractive to me. And what I want to do next is not something that barely makes me happy. I don't want to settle for somebody that I'm only mildly drawn toward, because if they exhibit any of the old behaviors that I saw with somebody of my past, I can already say I'm going to be turned off. And so I don't want to accept anything at all that I don't want. I want everything to be different. Okay, well, I would say gravitating toward an Emperor is as different as what, Sag is asking for. Page of Coins, but Sag is like, but I don't want to move too fast. I learned that also. You notice he's wearing his graduation cap on this card. I think Sag is saying, I have learned carefully, do not jump into any relationship with somebody until you get to know them well. Move slow. Don't let them, micromanage your emotions, because it does say that Sag feels like they got emotionally manipulated because of that King of Cups in the reverse that we saw there. But this 7 of Cups upright, Sag is like, no, I mean, I'm all about wanting a different outcome. I'm all about, options. And I'm not just going to say yes to the first person that I meet. If my destination is Emperor or better, what it means is that I'm going to make sure that I, give myself time and space to get to know somebody. Maybe I'll let myself date different people until I find what it is I'm seeking. This is Sag making the promise to themselves. This time I'm going to get what my needs are. I'm going to have my, happiest outcome, whatever is, for my lucky stars. I want the goal that I want to have to be reached. Whether this is like, I want the right kind of partner, or maybe this is even Sag saying, maybe I'm not looking for a partner at all right now. I want to do things that I care to do first and foremost. 3 of Cups. Sag is not going to be out there all by their lonesome, though. Sag wants to, honestly, they want to party. They want to have a good time. They want to enjoy their life. They want to enjoy relationships with people, friendships, lightheartedness. I do not see this as Sag saying, okay, let me immediately go meet my next wonderful partner. In fact, I would say Sag is like, I would want to talk to somebody, kind of get to know a little bit about them, not get too serious about one person, maybe let myself meet other people, maybe put my own needs, my own life at the top of my priorities list. I don't want somebody who immediately assumes that they get to control my energy, or that they get to demand what I do and what I don't do, how I interact with them or don't interact with them. It's not going to be on their terms. I believe that is probably the significant change that has come about because Sag has had this awareness. I'm done not getting any of my needs met. So now because I had none of them met before and I gave a lot. Now my needs are at the top of my priorities list. It doesn't mean Sag has become selfish. It just means that they honestly, they've taken control of their own life and they've decided, I'm not going to get emotionally manipulated to accept things that are not enough anymore. And just because we have this person over here crying over Sag, knowing that they blew it, this could have been somebody that was married to Sag and they just did not, I don't know why, but they made it all about them. It was all about them. It was all about what they wanted. It was all about, their happiness. They didn't ever work anything out. They didn't see the need to come to, understandings. It was all about their needs being met. And that's not going to work for Sag anymore moving forward with any new relationship that they get into. I think everything in Saggie's life now is more of a negotiation. Three of Wands again. Everything is about, what do I want? And Sag is still figuring that out. You notice how we have the full moon here on this Three of Wands. And boy, that's a really nice, bright moon. Keep in mind, our full moon is tomorrow as well. Our Sturgeon moon, which also coincides with that 8/8 Lionsgate portal. So we got a lot of energy coming in for, tomorrow. So if this is where Sag is at with that beautiful energy flow, fabulous. There's a lot of tremendous happiness here. There's a lot to look forward to, but it's also about Sag asking their subconscious, what is it that I really want? Well, I want to have a nice time and I want to step by step, day by day, decide what are my priorities, what are my needs, where are the gaps in my life that I need to go ahead and fill. I don't think that this is Sag being selfish at all. I think that all of this is exactly what Sag needed to do for themselves to get, back on track for a happier life. Do we have any message about the person that blew it with Sag? Because I kind of feel like now they're ready to change. We got the Death card. I was going to say, I kind of feel like we're leaving them sitting here just knowing what they lost and knowing exactly why they lost it, because they wouldn't collaborate. They wouldn't even consider altering anything. No, they didn't work together with Sag. Now, oh man, they'd be willing to work together with Sag. 8 of Pentacles and Death card. It just seems like it's too little too late. Can we go back over to Sag? Is there a final message for Sag right now during this full moon, Lionsgate, all of these times of change? We've got the Blank card, which is kind of awesome because it really is saying whatever Sag really truly wants deep within their subconscious, the life that they want to build for themselves, that's exactly what they will be building. Now, this also comes with that concern where it's like, okay, then Sag, choose wisely. As Sag, contemplates, what do I want? What's the real version of me asking for? We saw a pretty determined Sag. We saw them say, I don't want anything like I had before. I want my happiness to be fulfilled. I want more choices. I kind of think whoever Sag was with before didn't leave Sag any choices. It was their way or the highway all the time. Maybe they even made Sag feel bad if Sag had an opinion of something that they wanted. Maybe because to have a King of Cups in the reverse, that can be like a little bit of gaslighting or something, like making Sag feel selfish if Sag had any needs at all that they would convey. And so I don't know, this just looks like now for Sag to be in this place where they could talk and they could interact with whomever they choose, and they have the opportunity to build the life and gravitate toward the things that they want. I think to have their choices back is the way I would say this. The universe is like, then whatever Saggy chooses is what they're going to get. So build carefully, spend precious time preciously, because Sag is precious. Ace of Cups. And if there is a quest for finding love, for Sag to find the person that they want to give their heart to, it's like Sag will undoubtedly find the kind of person that maybe matches them really well, the kind of person that they would want to cross that threshold with. If this is what Sag is going to be, I'll say, interviewing for as they move forward, remember, it's Emperor or better. I kind of think that the universe is like, Sag will meet the Emperor. Why? Because they're not going to settle for somebody that isn't. If that's deep down what Sag wants, is I don't want to rush into anything, number one. I want some time to be single. I want some time to do the things that I'd like to do. And I'd like to get to know somebody slowly because I want to fall in love again, but it has to be without huge pressure and without huge intensity. That's how Saggie's next 3 months seem to be unfurling after this Lionsgate portal. I just feel like a lot of relaxed energy, a lot of the pressure is off. I feel like Sag is able to pick things. I'm picturing somebody who's like, like ordering food exactly the way they want to order it instead of the way an ex liked it ordered. I'm feeling like they're getting the toppings on the pizza that they actually want so they don't have to pick stuff off or, add a few items that they actually wanted on it at the end. The pizza arrives and it's like, okay, well, now can I put on, a few whatever mushrooms? I guess I'll have to cook some mushrooms on the side to put it on just my slices because the old partner didn't let me have mushrooms because they didn't allow it even to come near the pizza. I'm picturing like little details like that for Sag. They can finally pick their pizza toppings. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye for now.